This episode of Witchpolice Radio is brought to you by our friends at the Park Theatre, who have a number of great shows coming up. For more information, visit myparktheatre.com.
Thank you to everyone who supports my dad's show. If you'd like to support Witchpolice Radio, go to patreon.com/witchpolice today.
You're listening to Garbage Hill, Winnipeg's first podcast network.
Welcome to Witchpolice Radio. I am in the heart of Transcona right now. This is all four members, right? The whole band?
No, we are missing Jeff.
Okay,
Yeah.
4/5 of the Love Tongues, I guess, is the best way to say it. Yeah. So, I guess maybe just to start things off, it would be nice to just get a frame of reference of where you guys are coming from musically. I mean, this is the worst question I ask anybody, but how do you define the music you play? If someone's coming up to you and says, "Oh, cool, you're in a band," what is it? What's like the most stripped down, basic way that you guys define that?
In a word?
Well, if you can, yeah. I mean, the question sucks, right? Because unless someone's like a straight up country band or a rapper or something, it's hard, right? I mean, and from what I've listened to of the two songs you have online, like, I can hear different things in there. But how do you
What's your word, Ian?
Well, my one word, if I had to pick one, would be fun music.
Fun music, which is extremely vague. Again, right? Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't like fun?
I always thought that we were like the fresh but familiar, like classic rock sound.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of great rock bands in Winnipeg, but there's not a lot that do like the old school '70s classic rock thing. You know,
Sure.
So I feel like we're kind of like filling that hole, if anything.
Okay.
I always just say
1 minute and I already said fill the hole.
This could be one of these shows. Eh?
I always just say kind of like sleazy rock and roll.
Okay. And I guess the band name kind of implies this as well, yeah?
Love Tongues?
Yeah. But before we go any further, we should probably go around the table here and everyone identify who they are and what they do in the band, so listeners can kind of put a name to their voice. So start over here.
My name is Ewan Turnbull. I'm the singer, the dancer, the vagabond, the rapscallion of the band.
Wearing a lot of burgundy.
Wearing some color today.
Color.
And this man beside me is a Jets fan, obviously.
Yeah. I'm Kyle Lasky. I play guitar for the Love Tongues. And that's pretty much it.
Cool.
I'm Ian Powell. I play bass in the Love Tongues. I also play in Amadians and Speed Demon.
Okay, cool.
And I'm Kyle Fox. I very recently started playing the drums for the Love Tongues, and I also play drums in Amadians.
How recently are we talking?
A month? 2 months?
So you're really, really new at this point.
Very new,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
But it feels like it's been forever.
Thanks, man. I needed that.
So how long has this actually been a band? Because I mean, I know, like you mentioned before we started recording, there's only a couple songs you have online right now for people to hear. Yeah. So I'm assuming that it's fairly recent that this has been a project.
Absolutely.
I think we just reached the year mark.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I
just
think
very
the
recently.
21st or something is our first show that we played. It was like just a shitty basement house show or whatever. But yeah,
Those are the best
that's
shows.
kind of, yeah. That's kind of the day we've chosen to
to officially recognize, yeah. Cool. Okay. And I mean, obviously, a couple of you are in multiple other bands. So how did this come together? This particular unit?
Well, me and Ewan and our other guitar player Jeff responded to a Kijiji ad, playing with some guys at like a Mulvey jam space.
Okay.
Like really cool players, but it just didn't go anywhere. So
yeah, that's why I met him. And we're from the same town, Morden, Manitoba.
Oh, Morden.
We never met though, so that's kind of cool because we met,
to Kijij.
Yeah, you and Jeff and myself. Yeah.
But yeah, they found these guys, and I've never just stumbled upon a band that just had a lot of just natural riffs and cohesiveness. Like we were able to write songs just really quickly.
That's cool.
And I don't know if that's
well, I found so I jammed with you guys. It didn't work out right.
Right.
And then we were like, well, let's keep looking for something and see what we can find. And I was on top of that. I found this guy on Kijiji also. Kijiji is probably the best way that I've ever found musicians, or the easiest.
That's actually really surprising because I don't think I know anyone. I mean, I know a lot of people in bands, and I don't think I know anyone who has done that. I mean, I always see ads for musicians like Kijiji, and I never trust them. I was always thinking like, this is gonna be someone's gonna stab you.
It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
It is.
I moved to the city 5 years ago and responded to a Kijiji ad.
Yeah.
That was my first band. I still play with those guys.
That's awesome.
And like these guys too. Like, and I find it's really funny how quickly we all became more or less like family, or just like like bonded very
I went
quick.
through a lot of Kijiji.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the first one.
Yeah.
Bam, there we go.
I mean, the
I
two I
still
responded
so
to
much,
worked out.
yeah.
So
Like there were probably like 5 or 6 Kijiji ads in the month before I met you, and that like I would jam with the guys, and like I would know in like 5 minutes that like no,
It's
like,
not the right thing, yeah.
But like I wouldn't want to be rude, and I would leave just pissed off. It's like as if I just fucking wasted like 2 hours of my time
Yeah.
because I didn't want to tell this guy he sucked. But like,
You want them to be good at the same time too. You really want them.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
hoping that they're like,
and, like
this
yeah,
time
I don't mean to like be a dick or anything, but like they just like they weren't there yet.
If
Kind
it
of
doesn't
thing,
work,
like,
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Chemistry is a huge part of it.
well, it's
Agreed.
communication, right? Like it's what they know. If they're basement musicians and they've never played with somebody else, they don't know how to relate their ideas.
Sure.
Yeah.
So like it's for them, like those hard fails of meeting people is kind of necessary to find a band, right? You find somebody that speaks his language. I'm sure somewhere along the line he found like a cover band or something.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
bonded over rock, I think, eh?
Oh, yeah,
Cheers. Rock and roll.
Well, I think it's kind of like the two ways that people get into bands in Winnipeg. It's either someone who's been involved in the music scene for like 20 years, and everyone they know is in a band, and they just kind of naturally start a band because
Yeah.
everyone around them
Everyone's doing it,
wants to be in
yeah.
a band, or they're coming into the situation where it's like, oh shit, I don't know anybody, I Kijiji or an ad on a music store wall or whatever, right? Like, so I guess based on what I've heard again of your sound, like how do you define it on a Kijiji ad? If you're looking for someone, what were you guys seeking on an ad to go with? Like,
Good question. What was the ad that?
Well, I think
like what worked, you know?
I think
Some caught my eye about
actually
his ad. I know that.
Yeah.
me and him emailed each other, and I think I like at that point I was kind of fed up with like kind of Kijiji bullshit, and I started asking like, "Are you good though?" And he was kind of like, "Yeah."
So
Because everyone's gonna say that, though, right?
Yeah. By then I had recordings that I could.
Okay, so you can actually
I
back
sent
it up,
a couple
yeah.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the secret is to be blunt.
Well, it was you
yeah.
that replied to my ad. My ad was I forget
I
what
wish I
it
could
was.
remember
Just
it.
like I think I was just like looking to start a band with like these influences, and I just listed like I don't know, like a few of my favorite bands.
All the Guns N' Roses was on there.
Yeah, and I think the Stones and probably.
Yeah, that's all I need to hear. I mean,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, right. And I think maybe even Aerosmith or AC/DC or something too.
But don't bands like that get, just because of their large popularity, like massive popularity,
Thrown around so casually.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're going to get tons of people, like someone who can barely play guitar is like, oh, I like AC/DC, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas if you get more
They're almost
specialized,
too quintessential.
Yeah.
Well, the one band that they listed that I always gets my rocks off is Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay,
And
yeah.
like when people are a fan of that band, it's all they like the hits or they really like the band, and you can pretty much tell immediately when you talk
Sure.
about band to somebody.
Nothing's a guarantee though, but that's why, like, I was gonna say this earlier, persistence, that's what it is. Like, it's just not getting phased when you come across and hoping that next time it's gonna be the right person. And if you look, long enough, usually you find it. I've found.
Yeah.
Twice. I've found it twice now. Like, I had another band, but had to, it didn't work out due to circumstances,
Soulberry.
Yeah. Soulberry is the name.
Is that the name of the band? Yeah.
Injustice, but whatever.
that kind of sounds like a band someone would come up with on Kijiji.
It was, it was Chili Peppers. It was very Chili Peppers.
Okay.
It's cool though. Your album that you guys recorded. was
Hey,
pretty
it got
dope.
me to hear.
I actually love
it
the
was a lot-
Soulberry recordings.
I
They're
wouldn't
very
be the
good.
same.
I kind of want to hear this now.
They're out there.
No one
They're out
beats
there.
you.
They do exist. I don't know where to find them.
Yeah.
They exist on a CD.
You know what?
Buy them from Ewan.
If you just gotta pray for it and.
If you'd like to hear this album, scream into your
Soulberry
pillow.
Fairy will come and set up a little record for you.
So to go back to what you were saying, I mean, the Kijiji stuff is actually very interesting to me, just because I played in bands a lot, and it was always just new people. So it's totally alien to me, which is cool. But back to what you said at the very beginning about how kind of the sleazy rock and roll thing is what you're trying to the hole you're trying to fill.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what he said.
yeah,
I said sleazy rock.
yeah. The hole was over
You
here.
said the whole thing.
I said fun.
Yeah, that's right. You get the fun sleazy hole.
It's been a long day, Sam. Not for me.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, because again, some of those bands you mentioned, AC/DC, the Stones, Guns N' Roses. I mean, obviously there's a lot of cover bands that cover that kind of thing. There's millions of them, right? It seems like every second person I run into is in a cover band playing all of those bands and more. So, what do you think is missing locally as far as original stuff like that? Like, I mean, there's obviously a lot of bands playing various genres of rock music, you know, a huge umbrella genre.
Yeah.
But what is it? Just the sleaziness that was missing, or what element of the sound? I guess.
Well, I don't say that there's something missing necessarily, but I feel like we're doing something that I haven't heard any other Winnipeg bands really doing.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I hope that's okay to say.
No,
but
I mean, you should want to do that, right? That should be the goal. Yeah.
Like, would you agree with that? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, it was different than what I wasn't sure what to expect based on the name, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know,
The
but
Winnipeg scene is very it's diverse. And
it's extremely diverse. Yeah.
deep,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of competition. You know.
I mean, I think as far as like that kind of, I don't want to use the term classic rock because that can be kind of misconstrued, right?
Right,
But I mean,
yeah.
let's just call it classic rock for the sake of conversation.
Yeah.
I think there's bands like the Bloodshots, like Soul Hounds. There's a few different ones, right?
I was gonna mention Soul Hound.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they
nice and sleazy.
yeah, they're super sleazy. Yeah, especially lately they've gotten sleazier even than they used to be. Right? And it's a good thing. Yeah. You should do a show with them. Yeah, but those bands are there. But you guys are doing something different a bit. I think that I mean, I don't know what it is that's different, but it definitely struck me as.
I like that. I like that you can't define it because that means maybe it's something brand new, man.
Well, it might be.
That's what we're hoping.
What's the Iggy Pop line? Like, if you're genuinely yourself, it's impossible to steal.
Right.
Like, and I just love that. You know, like, sure, it's like you could call it classic rock because it's got that similarity, but it doesn't quite sound like. You know, like ELO or Led Zeppelin or something.
It's not
like,
exactly like anything.
It's got its own thing.
We're not like a Greta Van Fleet kind of like where you can really, and even that I actually like them.
Yeah,
and
but even people in their 40s are making
sleeves.
comparisons to Zeppelin. You know, like
But,
everyone's drawing that direct comparison.
That you can.
I really hope people aren't making that like.
I don't think so.
Oh, Love Tongues.
I don't know
Here's
what
Robert
it would be.
Plant.
What band would
Yeah.
it be if they were? You know?
Yeah, agreed.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because everyone's doing something.
Well, the thing is, like, we steal just the right amount.
Right. Yeah.
We are every band.
But that's what the best bands do, though, right? Is I mean, like the influence is not completely obvious, but if you listen to it enough, you're like, oh, cool, that sounds like like I mean, you take a band like
imitate professional steel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, take a band like Soundgarden, right? I mean, they sound like a mixture of Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath.
They do.
Right? I mean, like, there's other things in there too, for sure, right? But I mean, you can listen to it and be like, oh, this is new, and then it's like, oh, wait, I can hear the Sabbath riff here, or I can hear the Robert Plant style vocals here, and it's like this, but it's turned into a thing, right?
It's pieces of things you know, put together in a way that you haven't really seen before, I guess, or heard.
Right.
That's a good way of putting it.
Seen maybe too, I don't know, but heard definitely, for sure. since it's a relatively new project, and you're again filling this hole. I'm gonna keep bringing that up.
I'm not gonna let that one down.
Done, pal.
Songs in that hole.
How has the hole filling gone so far? Like, how have you? It's such a bad way of saying it.
It's been great.
Can't complain about the whole thing.
But like, I mean, what kind
Check,
of
please.
you know, as we've kind of established that you guys are trying to do something that's unique and that is, you know, taking off existing genres and coming to your own thing.
I think we're just, well, I wouldn't say that. I'd say we're just doing what we love. Like,
Okay.
honestly, it comes naturally. It's not a conscious thing, I don't think. On my part isn't, anyways.
Yeah,
I'm not consciously trying to.
I don't know. It's just kind
It's
of.
just what feels right. But
Yeah.
I'll say, with this, our new drummer, Kyle Fox, again, we just got him, and it's been a year since we were a band. Wait, give us a year with this guy. And
Things will be a lot tighter.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Like, he instantly made us better. He instantly made us better.
Yeah.
And it's just, everyone was very creative in the band.
Well, fuck,
That's what I like.
I think his second day being in the band, we had him in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It was really unorthodox that way. That it was like, hey, do you want to join this band? Cool, because like we're recording in like 3 or 4 days. So here are the songs.
Nice.
Well,
Good luck.
Good drummers are hard to come by. So like, I've been playing with this guy for 3 years.
Well, yeah, that's the other.
And when things weren't working with our last drummer, it was like a no-brainer to call him. And like, we would just like come down here, have a couple beers, and run through the songs. The next day we did the studio. I think we did like the last single we did, Hard. Like, I think it's literally 4 tracks off the floor, just me and him.
Cool.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's on the single Hard, yeah. And it's,
Like this very
we jammed once before going in the studio with him. So we had one jam with him, then went in the studio, and what you hear is one day in the studio of maybe however many hours it took, 3 hours.
It's a 10-hour day.
YouTube
That's
both.
cool.
Yeah, the rhythm section recorded off the floor.
Yeah, we heard the whole song.
Yeah, because we didn't have the rhythm section for day 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't like paying for recording
No,
time.
Yeah,
that's
So actually,
our first
all
song,
the songs that we've done so far, we did 2 tracks at Bedside. We won like a Battle of the Bands thing at Sonics.
Oh, nice, nice.
And then we applied for the Mid-Ocean, like the school here, the recording school, and they offer recording time for bands. So we did that the last batch to do Hard, and we got another song out of that. And we're actually going back 2 weeks from now to do another 2 more.
Cool.
So half an album for absolutely
It's awesome.
dinero. Yeah.
So are these building to become an album though, or are you just doing individual singles and not leaving?
EP. We're doing EP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
6 songs we're thinking, right?
it's probably the safest bet.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
starters.
6 songs, that works.
Yeah.
Then-
And then we're gonna look at what are they called?
6 or 7, possibly 7.
Factor and like
Possibly.
ramps and things like that.
Yeah.
We'll look at that after.
We might need to get better
Stir
at
the-
reading
stir the
and
pot a
writing,
little
but
Hey, I'm okay at it.
No, we'll just we'll be fine.
Well, once you have an EP, I guess that acts as a calling card almost, where you can just be like, "Look, this is us. Here's the whole thing."
Sure. It's
One
easier
single.
for people to pass around, I guess. The digital thing too nowadays,
Yeah.
and also, like it's just a way to make money too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like hopefully make some money back and keep doing what we're doing.
well,
That-
the end goal for this band is like we don't want to have jobs. We want to be playing music.
Right. Yeah.
And for some of us in this band, like playing music is our full-time job, and so I don't know. Yeah, we kind of need a product out of it. It's cool that we get to do it for free, and it's cool that there's like a way to do that in Winnipeg.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
that's
fact
awesome.
that Mid-Ocean
It's
offers recording like that, like that's friggin' wild. Like I love that.
I feel not too many people know about it.
Oh, so am I blowing the secret right now?
That's it.
Yeah,
We're
you
never
can
getting
shut
back.
down now. Yeah.
Last 2
But
songs.
it's
Yeah.
not coming out till
Yeah, later in the year. Yeah. So by the time people hear this, maybe you can find a way to
Yeah.
smooth that over.
The only way I found out about it was because I went there and like saw bands and it was just like, whoa,
Wait,
whoa,
we can do that?
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people now too, because it's so convenient to just record on your own. We have varying levels of quality, of course, but I think a lot of people don't even think about that. They just think, okay, we're going to record an EP. I'm going to rent a bunch of gear. We're going to do this in my basement, and that because now you can, right? Like,
well,
Yeah,
it's
like,
never been easier.
I was like, I'm in another band called the Human Creatures, and like we've recorded most of our demos just like in my basement.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, like it was.
It
like,
gets the job done.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, like I was pretty satisfied with them. Like, as long as you have Pro Tools and like know kind of how to use it and like how sound works.
Yeah.
like
For the
general understanding.
For the technologically inept, there's a studio in Neverville called Arcade.
Yeah,
that
okay, I've heard of that one, yeah.
Very reasonable recording rates, and Evan, the engineer there, is like fucking incredible.
Cool.
Just the easiest guy to work with. great studio space, and super affordable. I
Cool.
can't recommend that place enough.
So aside from, I mean, obviously you've explained how you got the free recording, which is great. Did you always want to go that route though? Always wanted to go and actually record it professionally, or was it kind of, was there any ideas of just doing demos like in a basement or something?
Well, we do.
Think of it that fast. Like it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we're talking Love Tongues here.
Well,
yeah.
the bedside recordings came up real fast. Like
That
we
was
started.
our first.
We started jamming in May, and we recorded those in July.
Oh wow, that's pretty
End of
good.
July.
It's very
So
good.
like when we released Devil Woman, like we'd only been a
Yeah,
band
the finals
for
for the
3
contest
months or
were-
so.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And like I mean, we were green around the gills when we
Yeah.
went
Oh,
in
yeah.
there. Like Len Milne worked us hard to get those songs to where they were.
Cool.
And we really appreciate that. Recording at Mid Ocean though has been a really cool experience as well. Like
yes.
getting to kind of have more say in what we
Sure,
wanted to
yeah.
do sonically, I think really benefits us because we're all control freaks.
Right,
Like
yeah.
we all want it to sound a certain way.
So now that you have those, I mean, that's been a while since you recorded those, I guess, right? Have you noticed like the sound
August was, I guess,
changing though since then? Like, I mean, have you kind of
Yes,
moved on
yeah,
from that stuff, and it kind of does it feel weird, like to?
We recorded those songs in standard tuning, and now we tune a half step down.
Okay.
Well, I
I don't know
think
if that's a
yeah,
secret or not.
Well, I think even by feel, like our songs don't like. We're still very much like a fast rock and roll band, but we've gotten a lot.
we're evolving.
Yeah, it's a lot groovier, I think a lot deeper.
I like
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
going, yeah. But I
More
mean,
depth.
of course we would.
More
but
depth,
like,
yeah.
It's like gents.
Depth
you
and
asked
girth.
about like, because is it weird kind of doing those recordings?
Well, I mean, now that they're kind of in the bag, right? You got them
Yeah.
done, but I mean, have you shifted enough in your sound that it's kind of like, oh, these aren't really representative, or do you still?
No, I think no. Oh, I don't know.
I like what you
always
said.
talking shit about our old music.
You know, the new stuff. I think you gotta create.
Ewan's mentality though is newer is always better. Like
Right.
Ewan,
Yeah,
you're very
especially
psyched on the
with,
new stuff.
like,
Yeah, every song we've ever made that's been a newer song, you've been like, oh man, I like this.
But
more
the
than
difference
old
is,
stuff.
though-
Which is a good
but
thing,
they are
though.
better.
They
are
are
better.
I think they're just different.
Well,
Not everything's gold.
The
Not
difference
everything's
the
gold.
difference
Honestly,
is
you gotta,
that
like,
back in the
do
day we used to write one person of the band would write pretty much a full song, take it to everybody, we do our own
Yeah.
thing. Now we move at the speed of inspiration, right? Like somebody comes up with a riff, somebody's right on that. Like we're always ready to just start working on something, and I think we're at the point where we know what each other's gonna do with it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's just it's not a conscious effort of like how do we make this sound like this. It's just we have our sound now.
just
so
comes
it's,
out, yeah.
It's not this effort of searching. It's just play, and typically it works out.
So let me
Like-
ask you a question, Mr. Powell. Would you say that one of the songs we're planning to record out of those 3 coming up in May here, are representative of our sound now?
No.
I would say that's the correct answer. So,
You win.
Yes.
But the old songs have to have a chance to stand on their own too, because
They
they're
do.
still good tunes.
They do.
And the new stuff has its whole life to continue to
But
come
that's
out.
the
And hard is
the
representative.
tug of war.
Every song you write is
wanting to
representative
do
of our
something new. Yeah.
I like this because you guys are just arguing amongst yourselves, and I can sit back and.
It's definitely a delay.
Welcome to a Love Songs practice.
Right. Oh, we've gotten good. Speeding things up. Not taking so long.
Do you have a kind of goal in mind for when to put an EP out? Is there
Yeah.
a target?
Too, right?
Yeah, we're not gonna. We've got a rough idea, but we're not gonna rush it. Obviously, like
Let's
we're
say
gonna.
fall.
Fall's like a
Ballpark.
safe estimate because
Okay.
like we're gonna do these last 2 songs, and we have one song that we're not really happy with how the mix went in the last batch. But I mean, like this guy here has done lots of audio engineering. I've dabbled in it myself, and we have a lot of friends that are willing to help us out with it along the way too.
Yeah.
So I feel the turnaround on that and the new songs, Fall's a safe bet. I mean, we're not gonna put it out if it's not ready,
That's
Right.
but I think that's
I think it will be.
it's safe bet. Though,
So later
for
this
sure.
year, though, at some point, you're kind of trying to. Go
Yeah, like I think we'll have something for people to buy and like at our shows and show
a
off
good
to their
time-
friends.
Is there like a better time of year to release EPs? Do you think?
Never, man.
Just whenever.
I think whenever, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a thing anymore. It's like people just do it whenever. I'm sure there was at one point like
Or
the
maybe
ideal
like a
time.
certain day of the
I don't know,
month
man.
is
There's
probably
something
a good
about
day.
Winnipeg in the winter, like being trapped at home. Like I listen to way more albums.
That's a good call.
It's true,
and,
that's true.
and if I leave my
Yeah.
house, it's local shows.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna buy music, it's always local releases. Like I always feel like winter, fall is like a really great time to put out music.
Cool.
That is a good point, actually.
I think a lot of good music comes out in November.
Yeah, word.
What was the off for? They can't see
Well,
us.
that's
Yeah. By the time this will be long over the series. By the time, yeah.
This will be irrelevant.
Yeah.
Remember Game 2?
Jets,
Yeah.
and you guys, what should we tell the future Jets?
Yeah.
Hopefully we have the cup.
Yeah, exactly. By the time this comes out, the parade's already happened.
Please.
Yeah.
Jets will be Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah.
There we go.
Or this will be just really dated sounding recording.
Yeah. No, I've heard that. That's a rule of what is it? Maybe comedy. You date yourself as soon as you do topical.
Oh yeah,
jokes,
for sure.
You instantly date yourself.
For sure.
Yeah.
So this is our
Are you working on your hot 5 minutes?
You know, my stand-up routine is
Working on
coming
your
along.
Letterman set?
So when it's ready, maybe I'll bust it out. No, we just lost. All right. Well.
Kyle is quite
Oh,
distraught.
I don't want to talk about it right now.
No.
How much time we got left? Because I have a question for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead, yeah.
Well, I love the Nirvana. So are you a big Nirvana fan?
Yeah.
Awesome. What's your favorite Nirvana album?
Favorite album would be In Utero.
Yeah, me
Solid
too.
pick.
Nice.
Side two of In Utero.
Me too.
Where
buddy.
does Bleach lie in that
I was
list?
gonna say
Bleach is number 2.
probably mine.
Bleach is
Nice.
number 2.
This
Yeah.
guy gets it.
All right,
Yeah.
Sam,
Yeah.
you're part of the
I like the noisy stuff. I mean, obviously the pop
Word.
stuff is great too, but like
Yeah,
Endless
yeah.
Nameless like blows my mind every time I hear it. And like
radio-friendly unit.
yeah, that's good. Milk It is probably my number 2 favorite.
Crazy album.
I love that shit. Like I wish that they had been allowed to kind of. I mean, if he hadn't shot himself,
right.
to kind of go the noise route versus the pop stuff because Nevermind is obviously
Well,
great.
and like the
groundbreaking,
production
but-
value on In Utero with
Nevermind,
the
yeah.
amount of noise,
Yeah.
like it still sounds very like here's like a digestible record.
Have you heard the Albini version?
It's meant to be
Yeah,
a little
it's so
abrasive.
cool, dude. Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
In Utero's meant to be a little abrasive. I mean, it's
I don't know.
a little bit.
There's certain elements of that album that are
it's meant to be
incredibly.
more raw than Nevermind.
Absolutely, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
But,
And it fills that void.
Bleach has a special place in my heart.
Bleach is great.
Underrated,
fills the
though.
whole of my
Underrated.
heart.
Unplugged. Come on.
Unplugged is fantastic.
Give it to Unplugged, too.
Unplugged is fantastic.
Bless you, my man.
I bought that the day it came out in stores. I still have the tape too.
Man,
I was pretty excited
it's
with it.
crazy. Like, that's what made them great, I think, was going to that acoustic.
That record, like the performance,
Amazing.
the guitar that Kurt Cobain's playing is the reason I tried to do the luthier courses because I wanted like the really tacky
Yeah.
swell knobs, and I never ended up doing it because electronics are not my bag.
Well, the cool thing about that show actually is that, like, I mean, you know, I was a young teenager when that came out, and I don't know how old you guys are, but like,
I'm
This
the
guy's
I'm the
fucking
oldest.
old.
I'm the grandpa
Yeah.
in the band.
Ewan's fucking old.
And that was Kyle Maskey that just said that.
anyway, like, when it came out, it kind of, you know, this is pre-internet and stuff, right? And it was the way that everyone used to consume music. Well, who were really into it would be you listen to something, you check out who wrote the songs, you go find their music. If it's cover songs and everything, so that opened up so many doors. It was like the Meat Puppets. Holy shit, the Meat Puppets are amazing.
Well, David
And-
Bowie.
But Man Who Sold the World, exactly. A lot of people didn't realize it was a cover, and then you go, "But holy shit, I need to dig up this
I
massive."
think a lot of
David Bowie
people
catalog."
were exposed to David Bowie's music through
Yeah.
that song, especially in the 90s.
And Lead Belly too. Like, I mean, Where Did You Sleep Last Night,
Yeah,
which is my favorite song on that album. Like, it's I love Lead Belly now, and that I wouldn't have gone into his stuff if I hadn't heard that
Well,
Unplugged
just the
album.
most guttural, sad
Yeah.
music.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it's cool when like awesome band, like famous bands cover like unknown.
Yeah.
Or like not even necessarily unknown artists, but like unknown to you.
Right, and
Yeah,
you learn
it's
about
like,
them. Yeah.
Oh, that's a cover. Like I want to hear the original. That's
But I don't know how many people do that anymore. Like I spend a lot of time on the show shitting on young people. I don't mean to. I don't mean to. But like, you know,
No, it's
with the way the internet works, it means yes, you can get access to everything you want, but I don't think people necessarily dig as deep as they used to because they don't
Right.
have to. Like you can hit a playlist and it'll just pick stuff it thinks you likes,
Yeah.
thinks you like, and and just like, oh, this is cool. I like this song. What's next? Instead of like, oh, I'm gonna sit down with the liner notes and, you know, I mean, like I still have all my old Nirvana tapes
Don't
and
even get me started, man. Technology, it's
Well,
it's killing us. It's making us stupid. It's
Yeah.
making
But
us
some-
stupid.
but
We
when-
don't have to
when-
think as much.
But when used properly, like Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age, he had a radio show on Beats One.
yeah.
Where he would just play music that he'd pick a theme and music that would influence him, and like it'd be obscure shit like Kids in America to the Cramps, you know.
Right.
But like you could tell in every single song that he picked exactly what influence from it
Yeah.
he took. So
neat.
yeah, like I
That's really cool. Yeah.
if there were more the options like that, and I know like certain magazines will do Spotify playlists from artists
Right.
that actually give you like
Those
a
are
lot
cool.
more
Well,
insight.
that they pick their own stuff. Yeah.
And like I'm very
That's
much a
true.
fan of that as a medium for you as like a fan of songwriters to kind of get into their head
Sure.
and find out what it is about those songs or the qualities that you can rip
off and used to.
Right? Yeah.
Well, that's a very good point, man. I've actually discovered artists that I had no idea who they were from like Spotify playlists.
Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, Spotify playlists
Yeah.
are
Like
really good for that.
to quote the words of is it the Water Boy's mom? It's the devil. Like I hate technology, but it is quite
No,
helpful.
but
Yeah.
it's a two sides to that argument, man. There's a use for technology, but it's got to be used properly, and it shouldn't be used to like help us just be lazy, man, or think.
Right, exactly. And it can
That's
be.
when it's a problem.
It can actually be frustrating because I'm totally a Luddite with this stuff. I'm doing a podcast; it's available on the internet. Obviously, I'm connected in a way,
Right.
You know, but and a lot of things I'm connected with. But I haven't used Spotify ever. I don't use iTunes. I don't use any of that stuff. All my music is physical format, and it's not because I'm trying to be like some kind of nostalgic whatever. It's because I have all this stuff. I have all these tapes and CDs and records, and I'm not about to go re-obtain all of it digitally. And most of my listening is done at home where I have a stereo. So like,
Records sound better
Well,
too, man. I think.
That was my
That
ex-girlfriend
shitty
too, man.
MP3s
She
on
still
Spotify,
buys
sure.
every CD.
Yeah, I do too.
What's the point of streaming? What's the point of buying? Because like the collection is kind of what's cool, right? Like,
right, and it kind of sucks. My feeling anyway, and I could be completely wrong because everyone's using Spotify and stuff, is that it kind of sucks the fun out of it. I like going to the store with something in mind, and if they don't have it, getting something else.
Yeah.
And
Or like buying something based on like the cover.
Absolutely.
right, exactly.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
on Spotify you'd be like, oh, the cover's cool. I'm gonna listen to it because like you're typically putting on music going on about your day or
Yeah.
it's playing through your stereo. You're not staring at your phone.
And also the sequencing of albums too. I mean, because if you're listening to something that's just picking individual songs for you, you kind of miss an element of it, which I think is like
Well,
the order the songs are in is done on purpose, right?
I
So-
also
Right.
exclusively listen to albums when I listen to Spotify.
That's the way to do it.
And
Oh,
then
I
after
think
the
so.
album plays, there's an album like playlist with songs similar to the album, and
Okay.
you find some fucking gems.
Yeah.
But like, what about
However,
like
I only
getting?
use Spotify like in my car. Like if I'm at home, I'll put on a record. Or
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, totally.
Like,
There's something
it's
that's
nice for in my car.
There's something that's so much more intimate about buying like a physical copy of
Yeah,
something because
yeah.
like I can stream an album, get 3 songs in, and figure, oh, this isn't for me. I unsave it. I never listen
But
to
if
it
you
again.
buy it,
If you buy it,
you'll
you're
listen to
locked
that
in,
shit.
and there's a
Yeah.
lot of times that like you'll buy something, and at first you're like not a fan.
Yeah.
You'll kind of ignore it, and suddenly you're listening to it 4 or 5 times, and it's like
Because
okay.
you're obligated to give it a chance. 'cause
Exactly,
You, paid the money
you
for
have
it.
to.
Yeah.
Like you're already financially invested. You have to get
Yeah.
something out of that.
I've been burned a few times.
I think everybody has.
I've
yeah.
been there.
Here's a big one for me, and I just cursed this band afterwards. Blur, Song 2, whatever album that
Oh, because you expected the whole thing to be like
fucking
that.
album,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, I bought it, and I just don't think I didn't listen to the whole thing
Rose,
ever.
man.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I bought a Jane Fonda workout record one time. I'm not in shape yet, not a fan.
That sounds like the sexiest record I've ever owned. But sorry to cut you off. But do you remember liner notes? Like I feel like that's
It's
what
missing, right? Yeah.
that's what died when streaming showed
Yeah.
up. Because like I remember buying a record or like. I remember like because I'm a diehard Chili Pepper fan. I remember buying like Blood Sugar Sex Magic and like it came with like all their tattoos and the liner notes.
I still have that on tape,
And,
yeah.
like there's like this haunted fucking ghost image in it, and like you're reading the lyrics in Anthony's handwriting, and it's kind of a struggle to do that.
Went into
But
it, you know?
yeah, but like the whole record, you're like actively engaged
Absolutely.
in like, the visual element in it, and
That's yeah, like my favorite thing about like having physical. Like I remember
yeah,
as a
and
kid, like,
streaming
just
you can't
fucking,
do it.
I
It's
would
just
like
not an
listen to all
option.
the records and just like
You know,
read the
the
lyrics
whole thing.
and like, oh, that's what he's. Oh man, great. Because like a lot of time you can't necessarily understand or like you misinterpret what they say.
Oh, I'm lyrically challenged. Like, I can't tell.
Right, and you can look it up online, but no one's going to do that. You know, because you
exactly, but like. Well, Spotify actually has Genius now.
okay.
Lifesaver.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it'll give you like tidbits about the song if it's like a. It's neat.
It's like pop-up video,
Actually, I've
basically.
heard it, yeah.
Pop-up video.
It was
holy
kind of cool when I heard it. I heard it in your car. I remember that.
Yeah, like and I showed
they
you.
do that
and
over
you're just like,
Yes.
neat. I'm like, yeah, dude,
Yeah, like pop-up video is like the music video equivalent of like science mystery theater 2000.
Well, it'd be like little factoids. Of
Yeah.
The rest of the kind of it's like this song was number 3 in Greece or something. Yeah.
So like minus the sarcasm.
Yeah.
I remember
Very earnest.
watching Forrest Gump with one of those, and I watched the shit out of that movie after. Because I was like, man, they're playing Freebird, and she talked about being a bird at the beginning of the movie, like it's deep on so many levels,
It's like Paul Blart being played over Dark Side of the Moon.
which is life changing.
It is. There's a podcast that references watching Paul Blart 2, like the
Really?
sequel to Paul Blart. You know, if the first one was a good
I
enough,
didn't even know there was a sequel. Yeah.
and they play Dark Side of the Moon, and apparently it syncs up flawlessly. Like
More
arguably-
flawless than Wizard of Oz does.
Arguably, like it's the Citizen Kane of Kevin James films.
Right. Which is yeah.
So with Dark Side of the Moon, it's perfect.
How high was the person who came up with this? Like
I gotta imagine like a solid 6 out of 10.
for sure.
At least.
6 out of 10, Rick.
Yeah. Okay, so just to get back on, I mean, I always like this discussion because depending on who I'm talking to, like, it could be someone who's 50, it could be someone who's 19, it could be someone, people's listening habits are totally different in terms of technology, and I mean, there's a lot of people I talk to who are the same as me, they just do physical. A lot of people don't have any CDs, any tapes, any records, they just do Spotify, so it's always cool. But to get back on track to what you guys are up to, what have you got coming up in the next few months as far as shows or any large events that are going on?
Yeah, we're doing our first festival gig, Howl at the Moon, which I believe is the 26th and 27th
Of August?
of July.
July.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should know that because I've talked to like 20 bands playing that thing.
Oh yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I know the 27th is probably the day we're gonna play. There's no actual time set for at the time that we're recording
at the time we're
this.
recording this, yes.
There's no official dates, but I'm sure by the time people hear this, you can look on the Facebook event page and everything will be there. Katie and the Wolves is playing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Jenny from like the Pink Slips back in the day and your mom is playing, and she's
she's awesome.
like,
She's been on the show too.
talented.
Yeah.
She's super good. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome.
I doubt that the Cavern show will be aired, or will be done the Cavern show by the time this airs.
So hopefully you were at the show and you're listening to this
so
because
hopefully
you
you
saw
had
you
a
guys.
great
Yeah,
Thanks for coming out.
Right, exactly.
Thanks Rami for booking us.
Yeah. So where do you think you fit in as far as like Howl at the Moon? Because that's a lot of country. It's a lot of rootsy kind of stuff. And as we've established, you guys are a sleazy rock hole or whatever.
It may not go over very well, but
Well, our thing is like we'll play country shows, we'll play the Cavern, we'll play rock shows, we'll play laundromats if we have to.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
We just want to play, and like we're still young, we're still real new, so no exposure is bad exposure.
Yeah, for sure.
And like we did a house show like a week ago where there was like maybe 20 people in the room, and we're like, God, maybe we shouldn't do this. But the 20 people in the room made us up, and I feel like we actually left with 20 people who are like actively invested. And when you actually, and festivals like Howl at the Moon are fucking awesome, because after you're done, like you're all stranded in wherever the fuck you are for this festival, and bands talk, you get to know each other.
For sure, that's the best
And
thing.
if anyone supports each other in Winnipeg, it's other bands.
Absolutely, 100%.
Like, absolutely.
100%.
and musicians seem to like our band. Like
That's
I think
good.
A lot of our fans are actually musicians.
That's like the show. Most people who listen are people in local bands. Like
well,
from what I can tell, anyway. Like
But it's networking, right? And like who's actively involved in the Winnipeg music scene? They're musicians.
For sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, hopefully that festival goes well too, especially because it's not really your main genre. But I think there's enough diversity on the bill that you'll probably.
I think so too, and like we're really looking forward to playing with the Bloodshots because we had a show with them in December, and
awesome guys. Yeah.
They had something like just happen in the band. They couldn't make
I think
it.
it was January. So
Sorry,
Johnson's daughter's show.
You're right. It was my birthday weekend. But they couldn't make it, and we really wanted to play with them because they're just...
They seem like a really good fit. Like,
absolutely, right? They're a good fit.
Ronnie Ladbrook, let's give him a shout out.
Yeah, he's been on the show too. Awesome. Unbelievable guitar player. Yeah, he was a few months ago, yeah.
I've luckily played a lot of shows with Ronnie. He's one of those guys that if you're in a pinch, you can call him anytime.
nicest guy ever, yeah.
And the thing is, you can call him like the day before the show, or in our case, like the day of the show, 4 hours before he played. He showed up, opened the show, and fucking stole it.
Yeah.
Well, the guy's a ridiculous guitar player.
Yeah,
It's
like,
unbelievable,
me and Jeff, like the other guitar player, were kind of looking, just like laughing, like, well, fuck, I guess I'm just gonna throw my guitar.
Yeah, it's like not even fair, right? Yeah.
Well, not only is he a good guitar player, like solid guy, and like he's a really good frontman too. Like
sure.
He can keep a crowd like watching him the whole time.
Yeah.
Like the set never gets boring. Like
And he's passionate too.
100%, yeah, for sure.
It's contagious. His
yeah,
enthusiasm.
the Love Tugs love Ronnie Ladbrook.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was a great show, you guys.
Oh, were you not in the band yet?
No, I was there though.
Yeah.
Ronnie was great.
Yeah.
He was at that
I didn't
show.
see you there.
hanging out by the merch, sipping a beer, loving life.
I tried to get us a handsome daughter.
Actually, by the time this airs, we should hopefully have some merch for the people to
Cool.
buy.
Yeah.
Buy our t-shirts, hopefully.
Some tees.
Awesome.
Some white tees.
Rep that. Buy our EP when that comes out.
Okay, I gotta ask a question for you.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
our
God.
logo. Have you seen the logo with the tongue?
I think so. Yeah.
So, if you didn't know what it said,
Okay.
would you be able to read?
Let me take a look here.
Yeah.
We're gonna settle this on
It's
the
hard,
Yeah.
it's hard to do, right? Because you're trying to you've seen it, you know what we say.
I know what the name of the band is. Yeah.
God damn it, you take way too long.
Well, you know
But
what?
right now they're looking on their phones, trying to rush to find the logo. Yeah.
But
It's a
anyways,
race.
Well, Kyle brings it up. The reason I ask is because we don't want to put it on a shirt if people can't read it. You know?
Yes, I can read this, but I also
You know what it says.
I know what it says, so I don't know if that helps, right?
Yeah. So
But I've
it's
also
like
seen a lot of death metal logos and stuff, and I can read some of those. Not all of them,
That's-
some of them.
yeah,
So
that's a good
that
point.
that helps, right? Like
This is actually easier to read than some of the logos.
some of them are just a bunch of
Consider it.
lines and notches.
The worst
and
is
things.
seeing lineups where all the bands
Yeah, every
are there.
band. It's like I don't know what the fuck any of you are called. Yeah.
As
Who is
somebody who
this?
plays in a metal band, I cannot confirm nor deny.
Well, in that case, we could maybe save some money. Well, straight up, if we don't have to redo that logo, we can save $75.
The Love Tongues are not only cheap on recordings, but
No, we don't have a lot of money to spend.
But you
yet.
may have a benefit of having the illegible logo. Where people, what is that? What's on
That's
your shirt?
the
And then
thing.
you,
They
it's Love
seek it
Tongues.
out,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then we'll have it
There's,
printed in,
um,
you know,
there's
just
grandeur
easy to
and,
read letters on the back.
ambiguity, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
There's some fancy
Well,
words,
the thing
but
that
yeah.
kind of swayed me a little bit is when you said there's some death metal logos that you can't
You can't read it at
That's
all.
true,
Like
that's-
and the people have shirts with that shit, right? Like I mean,
yeah. So well, okay.
like not that they're a death
Just
metal
curious,
band, but
man.
I mean I have a shooting gun shirt I wear a lot. Like you're trying to like doom metal kind of instrumental band, and it's illegible. But like I mean it's illegible when you look at it closely. But I mean people have been up
It's,
me
it's
like,
a stretch, though.
yeah, they'd be like, what is this? What's your
Susan
shirt?
at 45 is going to have a hard time.
Right, but
Yeah.
who cares? Like is Susan at 45 going to be listening to?
Susan's not our damn guy.
Right.
I want to play for Susan.
And actually, to be
I want to play for Susan, Betty,
too charming.
Mildred. I want to play for them all.
yeah. Susan at 45 might be your demographic though. I mean, like, because she probably would have grown up on a lot of the stuff you guys are influenced by.
That's what I'm
too,
saying.
right? So,
Grandma Ethel, she's
Grandma Ethel, that's right.
So,
My aunt.
depending how
Olive.
old Grandma Ethel is, she might. Yeah.
she probably remembers the good music.
Well, yeah, we hope so.
Ethel, we got the older. We got. Hey, you know what? I think we appeal to a very wide range.
I just say why cap it at anybody? Like,
Right.
It's not like we're
The girls
overtly
can dance to
profane.
what we're doing.
Ethel can dance to it, yeah.
Ethel can dance. She can square dance.
Right. Well, you are playing a country festival,
I'll
so
dance with Ethel. You know what, Ethel?
I'll
We're
dance.
gonna dance.
Right on,
Okay?
right
Come
on.
to
Don't
Hell
be
at the
dance,
Moon,
Ethel,
where
I'll
we
tell
do
you right
nothing
now.
but Willie Nelson covers.
That would be very interesting. Yeah, yeah.
But it was just like Western Canadian music, or what was it like? In the
Music
butcher, yeah.
Canadian music.
Canadian music.
Big band.
Yeah, a bunch of them are there. Yeah.
Yeah, Axel went.
Is there like a voting thing that's going on at some?
No, it's just like it's more of a showcase for bands in Toronto. Like
What's this?
our first band did that, and
Yeah, like a bunch of bands from Manitoba go down there kind of
this
together.
year though the expo for Manitoba was
Yeah.
nuts. Like,
It's fantastic.
yeah,
It's
Begonia played,
unbelievable.
man.
Oh yeah, I saw some pictures from that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Matt
SC
Schellenberg was in the
Mira was
band.
there too, and
Yeah.
Attica Riots, and the other.
All
reminds me of them. Apollo Suns.
all
Sorry,
the
just the
stars.
names. They both start with
They don't
A.
sound anything alike.
No, but they start with A.
Yeah.
They start with
Close,
A.
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to lump people.
Apollo
Yeah.
Suns used to be Electric Soul.
Yes, they
right?
did. Yeah.
Okay.
Apollo Suns is amazing. Great.
Yeah,
band.
my friend
Fantastic band.
Chad from Ward, Manitoba, where me and Ewan are from,
Yeah.
is the guy who plays keys on their,
Oh, nice.
their EP. And
It's a really good EP, actually.
And
Yeah.
Chad Braun is hands down one of my favorite keyboard players. And yeah, Eddie's incredible.
99. Chad Braun.
There's probably a lot of names. that
Well,
sound- yeah,
do you,
yeah.
you know like the family that teaches like Taekwondo in Warden?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I do.
that's his mom.
Yes, I do, man. Okay.
Yeah, Allison. Yeah.
Shout out.
Wow.
Shout out to Allison from Morgan.
Wow.
Small town love.
Yeah. Okay. So if people are hearing you for the first time on this podcast, which is quite likely because you're a fairly new band, right?
That's right.
What's the best thing for them to do if they want to check out your music or find out more about when you're playing shows, things like that?
Facebook.
Spotify.
We're on Spotify.
Our songs are on Spotify.
Instagram.
I'm not going to listen to
Instagram,
Spotify.
TV, yeah.
Oh, you're not.
Yeah, we have demo one on Spotify. Our newest single, "Hard," is pending. They did not like the artwork we submitted.
Oh, really?
You know,
It
the
just
best way
didn't
is
fit
just
their
come to the
fucking
show.
stupid
Best way is come to the
pretentious
show.
dimensions.
How to find out about the show? Yeah, Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah.
Or give Kyle and ask you a call. It's
Yeah, maybe a call. give me a call.
he'll fill you.
My phone's always on.
But just social media is usually
We're your standard social media band. By all means, look us up if you want to play with us. We're always looking for Winnipeg bands to play with. It's hard to find new people to play with, and we're open to everyone of any genre.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, if people want to hear more episodes of this show, you can go to witchpolice.com. By the time this comes out, there'll probably be 300 plus episodes on there for free download and streaming. You can go back to 2012. There's the amount of bands that have been on is ridiculous. Keep doing it. So you get new bands, which is cool. You can also tune in on Sunday nights at midnight on UMFM 101.5, and those are older episodes that kind of get a second wind.
Nice.
So it's mid-May now we're recording this. It could be October or something by the time this airs, and hopefully at that point you got a CD out already, so people can go right there. So they're always available online, but it's kind of just an extra boost for whatever that week's guest is.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of a cool way to do it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we really appreciate what you do for the scenes and stuff.
Yeah, we've done a few radio interviews, and none of them have been this chill and relaxed.
Well, it's the benefit of being able to take this portable thing and take it to people, right? Because you guys are on your own turf sort of thing.
Thank you for driving all the way to the heart of transport.
Yeah, that fucking pissed me off.
It's appreciated, man.
Yeah, no, it's fine though. I actually have a lot of people kind of reaching out to me to be on the show, which is great. I mean, all different kinds of music. But
your podcast is crazy popular, man. I hear about it all.
Well, I don't know, but I think that there's just a few people in the local music scene who listen to it and talk about it. But
well, the only people I talk to.
Right? Yeah, me too. Me too. So yeah. But no, I heard your songs and I wanted to check out what you guys are about. So thanks for having me.
Well, we appreciate you coming down. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks.